Nebraska coming into the Big Ten was going to be experiencing a different type of football. And certainly there are those that would say the Big Ten hasn't had a lot of success in its bowl games, either because of, talking again about the 9-game schedule, beating themselves up within the conference, or maybe they're just not playing the type of football they need to play against other conferences to win those bowl games. Do you see Nebraska changing the formula in that? Maybe not for Wisconsin, obviously, given the success you've had winning bowl games, but maybe for the conference generally.
You know what? Probably a question for Nebraska. I don't know. I think that, to case in point against Wisconsin, I think teams that are trying to prepare to play us have a difficult time because not a lot of teams are made up like we are. I remember reading a quote from the coach early on, and they were trying to simulate our fullback position. Well, they don't have a fullback on their roster, so it's tough to simulate Wisconsin, and I think that works to our benefit. But on the same account, one of our biggest things that we have addressed the last couple of years in particular is having our defense prepared to play against offenses that we're not similar to. And I think that's always a challenge.
You mentioned upstairs that you think your players are probably more by the lost to Michigan State in the Rose Bowl. Is it because it was a league game because they didn't play that well that day? Or
I think a combination of both. First off, I made the comment, if it was in the big squadron there, but I really felt going into the Michigan State game that we had a championship level team. I knew when I left the locker room we did, because we did not play very well and we got beat on the road. And if we could regroup and gather the way I expected, we'd have a pretty good team. And just I think a natural reaction from players is that we lost a game that we could have easily won. And the same thing for the Rose Bowl. I loved, not all of you are in there, but somebody asked Nick Toon how long it took him to get rid of the feel of the Rose Bowl loss, and he said, "I haven't." And I thought that was a great response. I didn't tell him to do it, he just said it. Usually the wide receivers are the toughest ones in the room, but he was pretty good.
With that O-line, you lose the 3 draft picks, but I gotta imagine so immensely confident you have. Is that odd? I know most teams probably can't recover like that, but you
No, we one thing I am happy about, we redshirted Travis Frederick a year ago. He was sitting there, and he's going to be a second string or a third string guard, and he's pretty good, so we redshirted him, and I think that's going to be a benefit for us because he can hop right into that left side. We have 6 players returning on the offensive line who have started games for us, so not a lot of people are going to have that luxury. I think Peter Kahns is, in my opinion, one of the best centers in college football. He's nominated for the Remington. I really think Ricky Wagner, we're moving him from right to left. He potentially could have as much ability at that left tackle position athletically than anybody we've ever had, which is saying we'll have the 2 first-round picks. But it's fun. I think it's a direct reflection off of Coach Bostad and what he's able to do. And in Wisconsin, as you guys know, there's big people everywhere recruiting and bring them in, and a lot of them are Wisconsin kids.
Are there any players not returning that we don't already know about?
Any players not returning that you already know about? Returning to the program? No. Just Zach. Nobody of nature. We had a couple of walk-ons, obviously, but I don't think anybody. I'm not trying to hide it. I don't think nothing comes bad.
You had said upstairs too that everybody was clear to play, clear for practice. Kurt Phillips obviously is not one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kurt Phillips, Devin Golden, and there's somebody else. There's a third guy. I can't think of it. That will be on the NCAA allows you to bring 105 guys in, and three guys. I can't remember who the third is. Won't be involved in practice.
Is Phillips rehabbing like he's going to play again?
Yeah, Kurt's not actually here. He's in Tennessee,
Okay.
and his dad's a doctor, and he wanted to go through some rehab there. They're actually, he hadn't had the surgery yet. They do a bunch of stuff, and I'm not going to comment on something I don't know about, but to get the right course of action, he was. We communicate via text, and as you know, Kurt's got a good little sense of humor, so he was all excited when we got Russell because he assured me if Russell did it this year, he could do it the next year. So I know he doesn't lack any confidence in his ability to come back.
You mentioned the importance of having seniors play well. You mentioned Nick's comment about not getting over what happened. Given how good he looked in camp last year, and then given the kind of season he had, your specific expectations for him, both as a player and as a leader?
I think Nick too naturally has good leadership skills. He's a kid that he says the right things. He has a pretty good, mature sense of awareness all the time where he's at, but on the football field, I think the only thing that's limited Nick is his injuries. You guys saw in fall camp. I thought he was going to have a huge year, and then obviously the first game to go through, he went through. And I reminded him back, the year that he really stayed injury-free was his sophomore year, and he was ridiculous. So I know a lot of people. I know the next level is talked highly about him. If he can stay healthy, so it's a big thing, but I think it's a mental thing for him to challenge himself too.
But the turf at Soldier Field is
Yeah.
widely considered the worst turf in
Right.
the NFL. Is that something you guys are aware of?
Yeah, we actually had our equipment people look into it, and we're going to use a special shoe. We have 2 grass games this year, Michigan State and obviously Soldier Field. So the good thing is it's early in the year. You know, traditionally is later in the year gets to be an issue. So hopefully it's not going to be bad at the end.
Did you talk to the Packers about that at all?
I
Since they
talked
play
to
there?
Packers, no, I talked to people that play in the MAC that have been, and Iowa played there 2 years, 2 years ago.
But sorry if you addressed this, but the new head coaches in this league, primarily Bo and Coach Kell, it seems like you've had pretty good relationships with them.
I actually know all 5 of the new guys. I mean, Bo was a GA when I was a player at Iowa, and he hangs out with that Youngstown Mafia, I was called, him and the Supes brothers. So I've known Coach Pelini for a long time. Coach Wilson, you know, coached in our league, and then being with Bobby at Oklahoma, and I've known Coach Wilson forever. Coach Keel and I met at a convention like 15 years ago, and have been really good friends. Actually, when he was at Southern Illinois, I used to steer players his way in recruiting and anybody that we weren't using up. Luke, I don't know very well. You know, Coach Fickle, a little bit younger than me, which I'm surprised I'm saying. But you know, a guy that I've respected in the way he did. I feel old really because I remember watching him play. It makes me really feel old. And then what else? There's got to be one other guy.
Brady.
Oh, yeah, Brady. Ironically, you know, we knew each other when we were conference coaches playing against each other, but the Ball State job, we were the 2 finalists, and they took Brady over me, and I remember I was so upset, you know, and the AD called and said he was going on Brady Hoke, and I hung up on him, kind of gave him a few parroting words when I was hanging up the phone. And actually, Bubba Cunningham is at AD now, is at Tulsa, and he always gives me a hard time saying, thank God I didn't hire you. So I've known Brady forever. It's fun for me because now I have a personal relationship with so many of the guys, and it makes it really enjoyable.
One more housekeeping question. Are all the scholarships accounted for? And if not, do you anticipate giving out any to the walk-ons?
Yeah, right now, as it stands right now, I have 1 more left. But I think I know what I'm going to do with that. And you know, when Zach left, that freed up one that I didn't really count on having.